Hey there, and welcome to HisTime365. I'm so glad you're here for day 69 of our 365-day journey through the Bible. Today, we'll look at Judges 12 through 14, and I'll walk you through what happens, what it means, and why it matters. I'll share a summary and some insights to help you see the big picture and connect with the heart of the scripture. During your quiet time, I encourage you to read today's lesson in a Bible translation that speaks to you best. Now, grab a quiet moment, take a deep breath, and let's spend a few minutes giving God His time. The unforgettable stories of Jephthah, Samson, and God's unyielding grace. Have you ever felt like your past mistakes defined you? In Judges 12 through 14, we meet characters who faced significant challenges and made questionable choices, yet God's grace shines through. These chapters illustrate a powerful truth. Even in our flaws, God can work through us. As we dive into Judges 12, we encounter Jephthah's aftermath. After defeating the Ammonites, he returns home only to face conflict with the Ephraimites. They challenge him, feeling left out of the battle. Jephthah tries to explain that he had no choice but to lead the fight alone. He had called for their help, but they didn't respond. This dispute escalates, and in a tragic turn, Jephthah ends up leading his men against the Ephraimites, resulting in great loss. The chapter tells us that 42,000 Ephraimites were struck down. Judges 12 verse 6, a somber reminder of how easily relationships can fracture over misunderstandings and pride. Next, we move to Judges 13, where we meet Manoah and his wife, a couple who longed for a child. They had been unable to conceive, living with the heartache and disappointment of unfulfilled dreams. One day, an angel appears to Manoah's wife and announces that she will bear a son who is to be a Nazirite, set apart for God from birth. This child, Samson, would begin to deliver Israel from the Philistines. Manoah and his wife are filled with wonder and fear, realizing the significance of this promise. They demonstrate incredible faith, preparing for a child they have yet to see, trusting that God will provide. Samson's story continues into Judges 14, where we see him grow into a young man. His desires lead him to seek a Philistine woman as his bride, which stuns his parents. They plead with him to consider a woman from their own people, reminding them of their heritage and God's commandments. Yet Samson insists, saying, "Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well." Judges 14, verse 3. This reveals Samson's struggle between personal desires and divine calling. His pursuit of the Philistine woman sets off a series of events filled with conflict and ultimately betrayal. As we reflect on these chapters, we can see how they resonate with our everyday lives. Jephthah's conflict with the Ephraimites teaches us about the importance of communication and humility in our relationships. In our workplaces, misunderstandings can lead to unnecessary strife. For instance, a leader might make decisions without consulting the team, leading to resentment. Just like Jephthah, we need to acknowledge when we've acted in haste and strive for reconciliation. Manoah and his wife's story reminds us of patience and faith during times of waiting. Many of us face periods of waiting, whether for a job offer, a medical diagnosis, or for a relationship to flourish. Just as they prepared for their promised child, we too can prepare ourselves spiritually and emotionally for the blessings we hope to receive. This can include setting aside time for prayer, seeking wise counsel, or simply resting in the assurance that God has a plan. And finally, Samson's attraction to the Philistine woman reflects a common struggle in our lives, the tension between following our desires and adhering to our values. In our digital age, this can manifest in the choices we make online, whether it's the content we consume, the relationships we pursue, or the way we present ourselves. Just like Samson, we may find ourselves drawn to what looks appealing at first, even if it leads us away from what is best for us. As we wrap up this exploration of Judges 12 through 14, let's remember that despite our flaws and failures, God's grace is ever present and powerful. Even in our weaknesses, God is still at work. How do you handle misunderstandings in your relationships? Can you think of a time you could have communicated better? What is a situation in your life where you need to practice patience and faith, much like Manoah and his wife did? In what areas of your life do you feel torn between desire and your values, similar to Samson's experience? How can you navigate this tension? Thanks so much for joining me today for HisTime365. Remember, today's reading is Judges 12 through 14, so be sure to spend some time with those verses during your quiet time. Tomorrow, we'll be diving into Judges 15 through 17, so feel free to read ahead if you'd like to prepare. If you enjoyed this time together, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so that you never miss a day on this journey. I'll see you back right here tomorrow for day 70. Until then, stay encouraged, and thank you for giving God His time today.